up, Sweetie Spokes? This season we're speaking with millennials in the 806, and I've been having a good chat with my friend Madison Baker. We've been having like a 10-year reunion from college.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about California Teas and what you guys do there?
So my dad started California Teas in 1976. Inspired by a trip to California, that's the name. So went there and saw that people were screen printing t-shirts like on the boardwalk, and people were just very hyped about it. And he's like, I could do that. And if you know him, he's a very like chill type of like, I want to have fun type of guy. So working for himself and printing t-shirts was the way to go. So we do screen printing, embroidery. We now also have a retail store across from Tech that sells Lubbock and Texas Tech t-shirts.
That's awesome. You grew up in Lubbock, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. What was that like growing up and now seeing it?
Well, let's think. It's changed a lot. Changed quite a bit in the last 5 years, I would say. And just, it's kind of crazy. We're talking about like different perspective of like growing up here and then like leaving and coming back. And growing up here, I probably would have not realized how cool of things were offered here until I left and came back, and now I'm like, wow, this is really neat.
Yeah. You went to Tech and then left?
Yes, I went to Tech, graduated about 2013, and then moved to North Carolina, and then came back in about 2019, so last year. Wow. So gone for around 6 or so years.
What did you do in North Carolina?
I did corporate event planning, and then that was about half the time I was there, and then I went into the food and beverage side of corporate events and sold catering.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What made you decide to move back?
Let's think. So I don't know if I always knew I wanted to live in Lubbock, but as you leave and go that far away, and it becomes very hard to get to Lubbock, to get home, and you kind of find yourself like spending all your money to come home, I was like, okay, we at least need to be closer. And then after kind of seeing California Teas and working in my other job and kind of getting into like sales and things like that, and realizing I did want to kind of run my own thing, it was just kind of like, obviously you should do this. It's something that's not given to you, but it's here for you. And if you don't do it too, it might not continue in the family. So that was a really big part of it.
What do you guys do for fun?
So for fun, I was thinking about that question. For fun, housework, not really. We just bought our first house. So that's been very fun to us. We're very like, I love interiors and he loves taking care of the yard. So that's fun. Yeah. But outside of that, we love going to Two Docks brewery. Where we lived in North Carolina was really big on beer. I think they had 50 breweries in the area. Oh, cool. So that was always a very fun thing, and something we do here a lot. And then First Friday Art Trail, like I was saying, is like the best thing ever. Very sad that it's not happening right now, but it was really something like me and my friend group always look forward to every month. We also just like that General Arts District downtown. They have tons of events that you don't know about unless you like really look for. Yeah. And a lot of things for the public too. Like I did a really fun Valentine's class at the print shop. You get to go and like screen print your own like bag, and I did like Love is Pizza and all this stuff. So things you do have to look for. But yeah.
We've done that with our travel writers. We've done like screen printing for bags and whatnot. And it's a lot of fun to like get your hands on something and kind of do something different than what you would typically.
Yeah. And I didn't realize they were offering like, it was a free class to the public.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, just come. It's like Tuesday night for Valentine's date night. We'll have free pizza and it's BYOB. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is what I want to do every weekend.
Yeah. The arts community is super like involved with each other, and they're very collaborative. Yeah. So it's kind of neat to see. And surely I think we'll see First Friday kick up soon.
I know. I feel like once it's back, it's going to be.
I know everyone's ready for it too.
I know. They did not really a mini one by any means, but yeah. Two Docks had a Doctoberfest a couple weeks ago, and we were a vendor out there, and then they did a block party with cast. So it kind of felt like it was the art trail. Of course, it was socially distanced and much less people, but it was still nice to be there.
Well, congrats on your house. That's exciting.
I know.
That's kind of cool to be able to, be as young as you are and buy your own home.
I know. We're excited. And I think that's also a super appealing reason to come back to Lubbock. You can buy a house like within the city, and you don't have to live far away from like what's going on. So that was a big thing. I think when you realize, or you live in a big city and you see those prices and you're on Trulia looking in Lubbock, you're like, oh, like, that might not be that bad. That'll be fun. I could have a big old house. But no, we were saying like the last 5 years of our marriage, what's the best thing besides getting married, and we're like buying the house has been like hands down the most fun.
For sure. Yeah, it's nice to have like your own little place and make it, yeah.
Nice to not rent for a while.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So being in the business community, what's it like working with a business in Lubbock? Like what's the business community been like?
So when I first moved back, it was kind of tough because although I'm from here and it is the type of place that you go somewhere and you're definitely gonna know at least one person, it still was a little bit like not cliquey by any means, but tight. You know, people have been working here for years and known each other forever. And I'm like 28 moving back and they're kind of like, who's this young kid? Like, what have you? But once I started to like just persistently go to networking events and like meet other business owners and kind of find those businesses that kind of go with what we do or like things maybe I am interested, then it started working and becoming like more collaborative overall. So meeting people like we were talking about Taylor McAlpine with local LBK and him connecting me to different business owners that are kind of on the same journey, maybe taking over family businesses or just being younger, was good. It was tough at first, just like any new group, but then once people are so nice too. Like you realize like I was intimidated to go to a networking event, even though I might know people there, but then you get there and people are like overly nice and like genuinely like are happy to meet you.
I feel like networking events just, I don't know, they kind of intimidate me.
There's
too,
stuff
so
you have to like just go in and be like, hey, I'm
Madison.
Like,
I know, yeah.
Want to meet me?
Come
like,
meet me.
Yes.
Yeah, it's super awkward.
And then, yeah, it's kind of a good social experiment though. I enjoy it secretly. I am an extrovert, so it can come more natural, but no matter what, like the group of people that have known each other forever, you're still like obviously the newbie, so yeah, it can be tough.
How's it been like balancing like life and work and everything? Like what's that balance look like compared to maybe how it did?
I would say it's much easier, and that's probably one of the like best things I didn't realize moving back. Besides the commute, that was a big thing of excitement. 7 minutes to work, which is really cool. But I don't know, I just feel like I have so much more time now. Like, yes, I am running a business and it's kind of, I've got my head down really like working in the business right now, kind of getting it where I want it. But life is slower here, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And so there's more time for like after work friends and stuff, like and family. And I don't know, my last job was kind of a go, 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 like work at 7 a.m., like work till 7 p.m. type thing. But I also feel like I reserved that time in my life to work a lot. So now I'm at the point being almost 30 where it's like we're working hard, yes, but like living somewhere like this, I feel like I can slow down. And that's even just literally from the commute, being able to not drive 20 minutes home type thing.
Yeah.
So it saves like tons of your day, but the balance has been good. It's also nice I don't have a weekend job anymore. So it could be, I guess, if we wanted it to be, but it's just been a little bit easier overall.
That's good. Event planning can get like way into crazy hours.
Yeah. But it was fun and awesome, but I cannot see me doing that forever type thing.
So let's talk about what you're doing now.
Yes.
California Teas.
Yes.
I've seen like all your Lubbock memorabilia and stuff, merchandise is so cool.
Thank you.
What kind of launched you into that vein?
I think realizing that it wasn't really happening, one. Two, just living in a city that people were so proud like to live in Charlotte. People just loved it, wore Charlotte everything. And I was like, that's cool. You don't see that. Like that was the first time I had ever seen you just like repping your city like that. So coming back here, and then I just did like one shirt. I don't even remember. It was so simple. And a lot of it is really simple. It's just like LBK or something. And then people being like, oh, like that shirt's cool. Like I'd never, like hands down, never would have like thought that people would come shop at my store as a retail store and not like a custom place to make things.
Yeah.
So every day when people come in and like, because we're pretty busy with customers, which is awesome, but it's just still shocking to me.
Yeah, like y'all have expanded into like all these different kind of like fonts and t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats. And I mean, it's so cool. There's so many different things that people can, and it does seem like Lubbockites like want to rep their city.
Yeah.
They're very proud of their city.
And not gonna lie, I want people my age to move here too. So I'm like, okay, make it look cool on Instagram. No, they'll come. But no, it's been really neat. And just listening to what people say, like they walk in, they're like, I can't find a Lubbock t-shirt anywhere. Like this is crazy. You have like so many. So it was really just a need that I didn't realize. And then once I kind of did, I was like, oh, well, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah. So if someone's thinking about moving back, maybe they're considering it, they're not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they haven't been to Lubbock in a few years.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
I would tell them, say they're like me and they're social and want to go out and about, I would say get a First Friday art trail, because like when you're there, like we were talking about, it's a totally different crowd of people that, like where I grew up in Lubbock is not like the people that are necessarily there, if you will. So it's just a totally different experience. It makes Lubbock feel bigger too. And just seeing like cool things that local artisans are working on really opened my eyes to like what Lubbock is now. I would say give it a chance, go to places that you've never been, restaurants that you didn't continue to grow to growing up and everything, and then you'll just really open your eyes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, of course.
If you want any Lubbock memorabilia or any goodies, check out California Teas. For more stories like Madison, check out podcast@lubbockeda.org.